Look at my car backdrop today. Unbelievable. That whale. So mystical. Especially with the light snow coming down outside. Wow. A little more seriously, I thought I would make this video to let you know, first of all, that I am hosting, if you're watching this shortly after it comes out, I'm hosting a free group coaching session on Monday, February 5th, or excuse me, Monday, February 10th, Monday, February 10th at 5 p.m. Eastern. Monday, February 10th, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. There will be a Zoom link in the description of this video. You can also email me for information at info@radicalcounselor.com. If you want to join me for a free group call where we get deep and we cover some subjects that will probably be of interest to you, you can hop on that free Zoom coaching call. For those of you relatively new to my channel, you might think that I'm mainly an SP coach. And a lot of the work that Marvin Daniels and I do is SP coaching for sure. That is true. But however, my focus is on the underlying principles and concepts that these great law of assumption, law of attraction, metaphysical teachers talk about, and intertwining them with other forms of spirituality and mysticism, as well as practical psychology and stress management to make us feel better. I've always been an inside-out coach. How you feel on the inside is the most important thing, and your life naturally gets better by doing that. And when I discovered Neville and found all these other great law of attraction type of teachers, that sentiment was just confirmed for me many, many times over. So that's where I'm really coming from. And I've always been, frankly, I've always had good interpersonal skills, and I've always been pretty good at giving relationship advice. And so that's why I've liked doing so much SP coaching with Marvin over the last, half year or so. But really, I have a much broader background than just that. And I've written, numerous books about stuff that has nothing to do with relationships, except for, of course, the relationship with yourself. And I thought I would read today from an email someone recently sent me, just talking about some of the results they got from applying a little bit of the advice I wrote in my most recent book, which is called Money Your Friend. Money Your Friend, if you haven't read it, I'll put a link in the description to that as well, for you can get it on Amazon. And I'm curious too, I've spoken to many people who've implemented the technique that you're about to hear about. If you've implemented it and found success or not found success, I'm curious about your results. Feel free to share them in the comments if you want to. But yeah, anyway, the free group call on Monday, we're not going to just be talking about this was a roundabout way of saying the free group call on Monday, we don't just have to talk about SP stuff. I honestly talk about SP stuff all the time, and I'd prefer to talk to folks about other things besides just that, because if you actually get to know me, you're going to realize that what I'm into is stress management and deep spirituality. And the manifestations, the demonstrations, the crazy stories, like that just happens pretty much naturally if you start integrating these ideas into your life. So this reader wrote in, and this is someone who knows my work well, follows this channel. He wrote, "Your book, Money Your Friend, has had a massive impact on my financial life. Various events, I prefer to keep them private, over the past 15 years wrecked my relationship with money. I worried about it leaving my bank account, my heart skipping a beat with the occasional loud knock at the door, those damn wolves from the past, clinging to the money I had, even when I had more than enough, or stressing about how I'll make more in the months ahead. This is coming from someone who knows how to make money because I've always been entrepreneurial, but my mindset took a beating during those years." Just scaling down here, sorry. I tested all sorts of techniques to improve my mindset around money and wealth. From the clownish hustle and grind techniques to overhyped manifesting YouTubers yelling, persist, 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 circumstances don't matter. Just shut up for all our sakes. To teachings from classic authors like Wallace Wattles, Earl Nightingale, Neville, and more. The classics, along with your YouTube channel and your book, have had the biggest impact on me. Without sounding cheesy, I can say that after going through your 30-day plan in Money Your Friend, an invisible weight lifted off my shoulders. I felt the relaxed feeling I used to have about money once upon a time before the dirt hit the fan. Your 2% strategy, Habit 2, has helped me understand practically and not just intellectually that money is in constant flow. The tighter you hold on to money or worry about it, the less it seems to come back to you. But the opposite is also true. By regularly giving a portion of my money away and worrying less, I created a vacuum for more money to flow back into my life. Funny how that happens. Sure, I have business skills that can help me earn, but without unnecessary stress and worry, I can now focus on creating. Sorry, let me just read that again. Sure, I have business skills that help me earn, but without unnecessary stress and worry, I can now focus on creating ideas in my business and my clients' businesses. It's pretty hard to do this when you're constantly worried about paying the bills. I'm sure this energy has helped clients hire me over and over too. Your book has been influential in helping my mind shift from a lack mindset to one of abundance. It's helped convince my mind that there's always going to be enough. I now have way less stress with money. For that, I'd like to say thank you. Kiran S. So, yeah, I always am deeply gratified when I get, an email like this, because I'm not someone who teaches about wealth building or how to make a lot of money, how to make millions of dollars. I know nothing about that. I'm not a millionaire. What I am is someone who has worked on my mindset towards wealth and what wealth actually means and what abundance actually means. I'm someone who's worked on that a lot, on myself over the years, over the last decade plus. And that's one thing that these fantastic, as this reader said, classic law of attraction teachings has really helped me with, and something that I'm so grateful for having discovered, because I personally think, these great LOA teachers, the reader mentioned a few here, Neville, Nightingale, Wattles, but, other teachers that we often talk about on this channel, Richard Dotz, H.M. Lee Cady, Joel Goldsmith, Catherine Ponder. These kind of teachers, if you get into what they're talking about in terms of money, in terms of what money actually means to you, in terms of what wealth actually means, if you start integrating this stuff, it will change your life. And again, this guy says that it doesn't mean to sound cheesy, but that's what happened to him. It's happened to many people I've spoken to who have applied the advice I talk about in this book. And it's happened to me as well. It changes your entire outlook at how you look at money. And you genuinely become more friendly and loving towards money coming into your life. And this is probably more important for most of us, going out of your life. We've been talking a lot about it recently in a way we always talk about it. Joel Goldsmith saying, supply is not getting, supply is giving. This is the deep shit. This is, fascinating. And this doesn't just go, supply doesn't just mean money. It also means our health. It also means our relationships. We are what we do, what we believe deep in our hearts, right? And when we take away the persistent stress and worry that most of us have about money and don't always feel that way. And again, in the book, if you haven't read it, check it out, because I talk a lot about how you don't have to get perfect at doing this. If we can just reduce our worry and constant stress about money, so instead of it occupying our mind in a negative manner 80 or 90% of the time when we think about money, occupies our mind, somewhat positively the majority of the time, maybe, 55, 60% of the time, that changes our whole life. I'm not saying you'll never worry about money again. I still worry about money. But I also have the tools and have ingrained them into my bones enough to know that money is always there. Wealth is always there. And, it sounds crazy spiritual, but God is supply. And God is always here. So this isn't magic, but it seems magical. It's the real magic. It's realizing that you have an inherent self-worth, an inherent quality of wealth within you. And by bringing that out more, you'll feel better. And as I often like to say, even if your external world does not shift in any dramatic way, you'll start feeling better about who you are and less stressed about money, less stressed about your finances, where your next, where your food's going to come from, where your rent's going to come from, where your clothes are going to come from. This is paradigm shifting if we start applying these wonderful principles that I talk about in Money Your Friend, and most of which I do not claim in any way to have discovered. They're in all these classic LOA teachings, and it's wonderful to discover them on your own. And hopefully that book, Money Your Friend, helps you do it. So anyway, I just thought that was a great email. If you want to share some of your experiences applying the 2 habits I talk about in the book, or just share your experiences about giving away money and the benefit of doing that with regularity and how that makes you feel differently and some of the results of doing that, please feel free to share them in the comments if you feel like it. I hope you can join us for our free group call on Monday, February 10th at 5 p.m. Eastern. Information on working with me one-on-one can be found below as well. And I will talk to you soon.